left.
The liberation of mutant kind has begun.
Welcome to the future.
Voice is clown.
Not clown. Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poisons, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What up, YouTube, and welcome to the most recent and live episode or issue of Two Fat Guys Pull List. It is 161, January 28th, talking about January 24th's pulls.
Oh.
Welcome, one and all. Looks like we got a pretty decent bunch in the chat. And I just want to say right off the bat, if you're watching this as a past episode, I will say we are in the middle of some housekeeping. We have a bunch of slabs that we need to ship off, but we don't have everybody's current and or updated address. We have, I think, 3 or maybe 4 out of the 5 that we need. I need to double check.
I think we only need 4.
We only need 4? Are you sure it's not 5?
Didn't we have someone win something twice?
Maybe. I don't remember. That's what we got to do. We got to figure it out. But anyway, that is on the mind. We are going to be shipping those slabs. So if you have won a slab in the most recent weeks, don't worry. This coming week, we're going to get that done and shipped it out to you. I know we are waiting on, I think it was it? I forget. It was Turkey Man. I think
was ready today.
Yeah, Turkey Man won our 1,000 giveaway, and I need their city, zip code, all that, and they emailed us. So if you're watching this, Turkey Man, make sure to hit us up again on email. I sent you an email about that. Get us your city and zip code so we can get that off to you. But everybody else, get ready. It is coming. Your slabs are coming. Talking about slabs, we're in the middle of a milestone giveaway. That's right. We didn't just stop at 1,000. We have multiple tiers set up. Our most recent one is going to be 1,250. And when we get there, we're giving away the sign, kicking it off with a sign slab. 9.8 CGC grade Uncanny X-Men issue number 1 from 2019? 2019?
It's printed on there for you.
Yeah, 2019.
You just gotta find it.
I'm just not looking at it right correctly. Anyway, it's signed.
He has to look real hard when he finds it.
It's signed by Jim Chung. Freaking awesome.
Oh,
so
I like it.
Check it out. That's what we're giving away when we hit 1,250 subscribers. So if you're not already, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. It would be much appreciated. And then as we get along, we get some other slabs to give away when we hit some milestones. But then the big boy, when we hit 2,000, another signed slab, a Thor number 1 from Donny Cates' run, a Nick Klein sketch variant signed by Donny Cates, CGC grade 9.8. So help us hit 2,000 subs, and you could win this very valuable slab. I mean, Nate has told me I am incredibly stupid for giving it away, but hey, man, I love y'all. I love y'all. And I want y'all to get the best. What's up?
I nothing. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that out loud. I just realized I didn't read Gods.
You didn't read Gods?
Nope.
What did you do this week?
I can't tell you that on live recording, live whatever this is.
All right, interesting. Go ahead and text me. Anyway,
just kidding. I did nothing.
That's what we're giving away. Also, we need to talk about our show's sponsor, which is Collected Comics Games here in the DFW area. They have 3 locations, 1 in Fort Worth, 1 in Keller, and 1 in Irving. If you ever get a chance, if you live in the DFW area, check them out. If you ever get a chance to come to the DFW area, you need to check out Collected Comics and Games. It is a fantastic place to pick up comics, board games, card games, toys, statues, models, dice, plushies, manga.
Plushies. He loves making sure you know plushies are there.
Yeah, man. Pops. I mean, they have everything. They've got everything. It's amazing. They even got snacks. It's great.
It's true.
But definitely hit up Collected Comics and Games if you ever get a chance. This is an amazing store. Ron and Brent do a great job of just curating some amazing things for you to purchase. It's great. And they also have a website called staycollected.com, or no, I think it's just collected.com. Or is it Stay Collected? I can't remember. Is it Stay Collected? Nathan.
No, I'm thinking. I just look. Sorry.
Just look it up. We're on the internet. We can do this. This is an internet show.
It is Stay Collected.
StayCollected.com. Go check it out. It is an amazing site where you can go ahead and pick up all that stuff I just mentioned. So, all right, this week it looks like Nate has forgot to read 2 books.
Oh, I am sorry, guys. Those are.
So that'll be fun.
I know what happened now that I'm looking at what happened. I always keep my books in one little area and like read them. And
right.
That's it. They have fallen back down behind my computer. And,
interesting.
Some sneaky little 4-year-old probably came in here and played around.
Sneaky 4-year-olds. That's why I got to put a lock on the door, dude. Anyway,
yeah, I even got the like super baller Ron Lim variant cover.
I can't believe you didn't read it. I mean, I can
like
tell you
super
right now.
90s like card. I love it.
We'll get into it. Anyway, let's get to chat.
I'm so
John says, I'm not sure I can make it tonight going to see Reanimator in the theater. I'll do my best. Don't worry about it, man. Go enjoy your movie. Who made it? Let's go. Reanimator the movie theater sounds like a great time. Reanimator. What is that? I've never heard of that. Is that a movie?
Not sure.
Interesting. It was. I haven't seen that one in years. Army of Darkness next month. Oh, so it's a older movie. Got it. I've risen from the depths. What a blast. Yo, what's up, homies? What up, Calvin? What up, Jaden? What up, Joe? Halftime question already. With this rise year over the year of manga / anime, do you see the comic / animation industry declining or gaining in America? What can be done to save, heal, or repair it? We will get to that. Only had 3 books this week. Gods, Crash Down, Ghost Machine. I'm giving Gods pick of the week. Gotta say, the monthly release, it's making it underrated. It will be beautiful when done. We'll talk about it. I couldn't get into Gods. I'm right there with Kelly. Also, another halftime question: should one writer or creative team be in control of the comic landscape like Mark Miller, Hickman, or Bendis did back in the day for modern era? Would this boost morale? John, my LCS sold out of Dracula before I could pick it up. They ordered one for me, but I have to wait a couple weeks. Cry face.
Oh no.
Last, what's Nate's view on Hickman post X-Men, Fantastic Four, Avengers, and now Spider-Man? Joe, Gods is deep, but I'm taking my time to fully connect, and it's great. Last, sent my address to Twitter DM. Got it. We got you, Empire. We'll get it to you. And also, Gods is amazing. Slow start, but engine is revving. Okay, well, let's just get into Gods since we are.
Oh, Empire. We should find a time that you can meet us there. That'd be great.
Oh, perfect. And what did you mean again? I need to make sure because you have it in Discord.
Yeah, I have it in Discord. The Wolverine numero uno.
Oh, the one that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Numero uno. Which one?
Yarp.
We've got 2 Wolverines.
Well, I have one and you have one.
This is what I'm saying. I thought we gave away the 1980 one too.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what you're talking about. Okay. Well, there you go. Anyway, I'm all over the place. Let's talk about Gods.
Don't worry, I've got the notes and
you've got the notes. Okay.
He doesn't got it. I got it.
Blah! Anyway, Gods number 4. Okay.
Tell me about it.
Well, I think chat. I think they're correct. Like it is good. The release of it and the what am I trying to say? The release of it, the pacing of it, I think is what its downfall. It is going much like a lot of these. Again, I'm saying a whole lot of nothing. We never experienced Hoxpox, right? In its release. So correct me if I'm wrong. Was it much like this, like what we're doing with Rise and Powers, where we got one issue of each one every month? Or did it release every other week?
I don't remember. I'm sure someone in the chat will tell us before I can look it up, but
so
I don't remember.
I think the way this book is being released is killing it, in my opinion. And that's only one part of it, because I do think what's going on in the book is important. I think it's going to be whenever we establish whatever we're dealing with and what we're actually building, I think is going to be amazing. But I got to go back to my guy, not my guy, but someone that I watch just to see his opinion on, which is Robbie. And I think he said it perfectly on this book. He goes, I don't know why I should care about what's going on in this book. I'm being told by Marvel that it's amazing. And I know it is because it's Jonathan Hickman, and he's done so many great things at Marvel, right? We're incredibly huge fans of Hickman. But when I read this book, I get done with it and I go, huh, why?
Yeah.
Like, I know it's massive. I know what's going on is huge. But when I read it, I still don't, like, I am not floored. I'm not going, holy shit, this is huge. This is going to be massive. I'm going like, okay, I'm looking at this massive empty room inside of a box, and I don't understand the importance of it, right? This character who is established in the Marvel Universe, Oblivion, who looks like a fucking beast. Again, I just don't have any reference for it. And Doctor Strange in this book feels incredibly small and just a side piece, but he's featured in every issue almost, and he's this guy that is key to our main character's development in the story. You've got all these other new characters who are massive and important, and I don't feel connected to them. I just don't. I don't have. I don't feel like there has been any reason to be given to be like, oh my god, this is massive. It just doesn't feel that way to me, and I know I'm probably in the minority, because when I read it, pacing wise, obviously, thematically and the way it's written, beautiful side piece. Yeah, I said it, Calvin. I think it's Hickman. Of course, it's going to be written well, and it is. It is. But I don't know what's going on. I just don't know, and I don't know. I feel bad because I feel like I'm shitting on the book, and I'm not trying to. But when I finished reading it, I didn't go. I just was not moved. I went, okay, that was cool. What happened? Why is this important? What is this doing to my other comics? It doesn't feel like anything's happening. Whereas some of these other books that we have on our pool, including DC, I look at it and go, all right, like I think we got something here. There's some movement here, there's some correlation, there's some connection. But to me, in Gods, it just feels like it's out on its own, and nobody outside of Doctor Strange is going to realize what happened in this book. And that may be by design. I don't know, but that's just me. I
think Joe's onto something, or at least it's gotten me onto a thought of something.
Okay, go ahead.
Joe has said, a few different things about Ultimate Universe and stuff like that, with this stuff getting reestablished. There's a reason why this book is coming out while this Ultimate Universe is relaunching. What if this is an establishment of the upper echelon of beings in the Ultimate Universe? We have no indication that this is happening in 616. Doctor Strange could totally exist in the other world, right? Like, there wasn't anything in those setup issues, those 4 or 5 setup issues with him, right? This very much could be happening in the 6160 right now, and we wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
Or something that they do here could have ramifications for that, and I think that's probably seems to be the case. But yeah, I mean, everything you're saying is valid, right? Because it's kind of like you're building a project, you're building something with somebody. Hickman saying, "Here, hold this tool. I'm building something. Here, hold this tool. I'm building something." And you're sitting to your left, or you're holding the pieces, and you're like, "Dude, what are we doing?" He's like, "Nah, just drop it." And you drop it, and you see what he built. And you're like,
Sure.
"Oh shit! Now I see how these places went." Right now, you're in the part where you're holding the heavy tools, and it's gonna suck, and you're frustrated with it. And when it's done, you're gonna look at the finished product, and you're gonna go, "Man, I don't know if it was worth it me holding all those pieces for you for 8 months. Like, it would have been cooler if you had just showed this to me after you were done, instead of having me stand here and watch you make it." You know what I mean? But
So here's where I'll
I don't
argue
know.
here. Here's where I'll argue here.
Mm-hmm.
When we read this, we read the first issue, right? When we read the first issue, both of us were like, holy shit. What? Right? When we read the first issue of Gods,
They were coming out weekly, by the way. It wasn't even bi-weekly.
Okay.
It's every single week one of the 2 issues was coming out.
so, you know, when we read this, and I don't know, you've read the Fantastic Four, you've been reading the Avengers run from Hickman.
I read all that.
Yeah, and you were, I know you had your ups and downs with Avengers because it was like, and then it kind of just like beelined, and you were like, holy shit, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But my biggest experience with Hickman is this, right? And I read that first issue, and that 1st issue was like, holy crap. And obviously, yes, because it was doing something incredibly different with very established Marvel characters that we both know and love, right? And so, yeah, it got us jazzed. In this, there's outside of Doctor Strange, which is itty bitty connection, right? Because neither of us really are massive, if not at all, Doctor Strange fans.
Right.
And there's nothing right now that I read that I go, oh, this is insane. It just isn't. And like you're saying, I think you're right. Yeah, you're holding all the pieces, and then you're just gonna you drop them. He tells you to drop them, and then the masterpiece is in front of you. But I just think that's a lot to ask, and I sound so
I think
I sound so big forehead.
I think that's too much to ask for what it is. I think Last pointed this out, that this is the same route that Hickman took with Black Swan and the Priests in his Avengers run, and that is what made me click in my head, because I didn't read that as it was coming out. I read that in a collected edition, and I thought that buildup was a little bit slow in a collected edition. Okay. So, as monthly comics, that shit was probably bullshit. And I'm thinking, and those were with established characters. I know the Black Swan and the Priest and all that was new characters, but we were doing it with the Avengers. Okay, like we were doing it with the Illuminati. Like, it was great. We had these things that we knew to rely upon, and here we have we have nothing. Who cares about Doctor Strange? We have nothing, and so I think it's too much to ask. But I also think we are being whiny bitches, and this is going to be amazing, and like it's all going to be kind of null once it's done. But yeah, in the process, it's a little.
I'm sure when Gods ends and Hickman's on to his next big thing, whether it's continuation of Ultimates or he's doing another big run of something, that there will be foremention of Gods, and it'll just be this massive like Connect 1, Connect 2, like just these big haymaker punches, and that's fine. But it's just, I don't get excited when I see this in my pool. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna read something that I don't understand, and that's it, And I think Last said it. One of his comments was, the art is carrying this book. 100%. The art is fucking amazing in this book. It is so good. It's amazing, but I just don't care. I don't care. Like, and I don't like saying that. I really don't, because I want to. Marvel's our bread. That's just kind of where we are as a show, and there are some other shows where DC's the bread, and there's other shows that independents are the foundation.
Well, yeah, we gonna change that, but that's another thing.
But I don't know. It's hard for me because I just don't feel connected to the story whatsoever. Why should I give a shit about any of these characters? I don't have any connection to them. I don't relate to them. I guess I relate to, like, there was one instance in this book. Remind me of the main character on the cover that's next to Strange. I forget his name. It starts with a W.
Oh god, I can't. Win.
There was a moment where Win had a look of like betrayal, if you will, when he meets his ex-wife's apprentice, and it's clear that she was meant to be on Win's side. Like, she's more of Win's descendancy, I guess you could say. I don't think that's the right word, but she was meant to be on that side of the faction. And his wife, it would appear that his wife pulled a fast one on him. So like that emotional connection for me, I thought was really cool, because you kind of feel for him. Like that is one part of the story that I do feel connected to. which is his love for his wife, for his ex-wife, and
Yeah.
her still playing the part of the other side, and them kind of going at each other, and seeing this apprentice be so much. It was clear that she was supposed to be on the other side, or at least that he would have, if he had taken the time and noticed her, that he would have shepherded her into on his side. That was fine.
Good job, Steph.
Win. So there's that. I guess there's that connection for me in this issue. But, the establishment again of our, one of our baddies from the first issue, whatever. It's clear that he's being manipulated by some outer massive force, on the level of eternity and all that jazz. So, it's big. It's big shit. But I'm more worried about what's going to happen in X-Men. I'm more worried about what I'm going to buy in the coming months, because I'm going to do it, foolishly. And Gods is just not doing it for me, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Joe said Hickman to his readers is like, trust me, bro, let me cook.
I'll let him cook, but I'm going to complain about it.
Clearly.
Because I'm not jumping off.
You know what? After Spider-Man, and I know it's one issue, but after Spider-Man, you want to let the dude have his magic mushroom comic, and he's gonna keep doing the
Of
Spider-Man
course.
too. Let him do it.
Spider-Man.
I'm okay with
Don't
it.
get me even started. Spider-Man's amazing. I have gone in and ordered as many as I can. Did
you get the cover, just the regular cover A of that
for the first issue?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That thing's already up to like $60, $70.
Damn, son.
People were going nuts on that thing.
That's good. It's a good book. So, all right, there's Gods.
I mean, sure, but it shouldn't be that. Anyway,
I'm like 7 issues
talk
later.
about Thor.
All right, the Immortal Thor, issue number 6.
I almost want to hit it, but no, can't do it.
I know you can't.
So
because
close.
I know what it is. Thor: First Journey into Mystery.
Wow. You get one goes.
Cover of the week. Yeah, cover of the week.
No, can't
mean,
give it that.
Well, I know what your cover of the week is too, so it just doesn't matter. But anyway,
No. Honestly, not even it's not even second place.
I like the cover.
The cover's amazing. It's just, I'm also getting Alex Ross fatigue. I'm just gonna straight up say it.
That's fine. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Are we getting Ultimate Black Panther? I'm thinking about it.
I'm gonna at least read issue 1 and go from there. But yeah, for sure getting that.
So you go ahead, because
okay.
And let me just.
Well,
say
I mean
this,
this.
and you'll go.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say this. With
Say
Thor, for me, for Thor, it is definitely an up and down for me, and it's because of how you said this is how you need to read it, and I don't like that. When Ewing goes down into these rabbit holes, and it's gonna be this is the rabbit hole. This isn't just like, hey, yeah, we're gonna do this for one issue. This is what Ewing's gonna be doing for this arc, at least, or not even going into this little collab that they're doing with the other writer. And it's got me just a tad worried, because I read it and I'm halfway through it, I'm going this is bigger than me. This is big brain. This is massive brain, and I feel incredibly stupid. And then when you asked me if I read it, and I was like, oh, and then you told me, and I'm like, okay, got it. I understand the assignment. I'm gonna sit back here and I'll read it, but Nate's gonna have to explain it to me, because I can't. Because it's so smart. It's so smart that I feel stupid.
It's not so smart though. Okay. So I will tell you, this is part of what I said when we were texting about it, right? We were talking, I don't remember which, but when I read this comic, I make sure, I chill, I stop what I'm doing. There's no music, there's nothing like that. I make sure my kid's not running around, and I know I'm gonna have to give this comic book 30 minutes at least. And if there's something I don't know that Al Ewing writes, whether it's a word I don't know, or a phrase or a reference, I'm looking that shit up, because it means something. It's not just oh, haha, I'm putting an old cover of a Thor issue. It's, oh, hey, here's, in case you didn't know, here's a cool way for me to show you. We're literally doing a retelling as an extra meta game of a comic that's already happened. That shit's so good. And that's what most of this comic is. Right. This is our big reveal I guess this is the set in stone reveal that what's his name? Dario has this team of like, Enchantress and other Thor enemies that are literally finding a way to change what is reality. And what better way to tell you that where Loki is trying to teach you the point that you can't trust your memories. What is true? What does that mean? Is it what you remember is true? Or is it what can be proven is true? Like, what is reality? At that point, it's like, what is reality?
What is reality, bro?
And so, I don't know. I am just the silliest sucker for going into like a double meta commentary. This would have been super early days for the show, but we were reading crossover as it came out, and Chip Zdarsky's issue made me wet my pants. It was just amazing.
Jesus Christ.
And the fact that we're getting that what?
No, it's fine. No.
There's a little dribble, okay? It wasn't like full river, but
okay. All right. Okay.
Don't
dribble. Have to be descriptive.
Right.
Go ahead.
They come here for the descriptions, okay?
Oh, they come here.
For your good looks, I get it. Anyway, I think that what Ewing is doing here is it is a little dense and it is a little difficult. And and I've said this before, I think about Thor and about another book that we had that same week. This book you can't just pick up this book and have a silly goose time. It's not what it is. This book demands that you fucking pay attention. And if you don't, you're gonna feel like you wasted your time and your money because you just don't get it. And so if you don't get it, my suggestion would be look or talk to someone that does. And then when it's opened to you, I think it'll have a lot more value. Now, you could also make a great argument about, is that really a good comic if it can't do that without the extra work? I would say yes, it totally is, but
I'd say no.
That's just an opinion, right? I think that we are 6 issues into the greatest Thor run that's ever going to happen. Which is weird because I feel like Thor has been on a perfect run for 13 years now. Like we had Jason Aaron's run that fell into Donny Cates' run, and then now into here. What?
No,
that's really good.
No.
But
I think you're right. No, I just think last said Marvel needs their own Mark Waid, World's Finest, and I totally agree with that.
Oh, that would be great. That would be.
I don't think you're. I just don't. I don't think you're wrong, but it's. Yeah. You know what it is, and I'm gonna be. It's. This is gonna piss you off, and it's fine. I don't. That's the whole point of the show. Is, I guess, I got a glimpse into Ewing doing his best Donny Cates impression. Was it last issue or the issue before? Where we had basically 5 different Thors going ham on this god, this pre-god, essentially Titan god. And I was like, all right, we wrapped it in, and that whole thing was just kick-ass at the end. And I'm sure that's what'll happen here. But dude, you're right. If you are not willing to do your homework, unless you're fucking Comic Book Herald who just knows everything comics, you're going to need to. You okay?
I didn't do that on purpose.
Okay, what's happening? Okay. Anyway, you're just gonna need to. You're gonna need to do your homework, because if you don't, you're gonna, like you said, you're gonna feel incredibly lost. And I just don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not. This isn't in any means me saying I'm off the book. I'm gonna stick with it. But when you, I guess it's a circumstance, right? Reading Gods and going, okay, that was cool. I don't know what the fuck just happened. A lot of words, and that's not saying that a lot of words is bad. It's just very thick. And then you jump over here going, all right, here we go. We just got into this. We just finished this kick-ass arc where Storm and Loki and Beta Ray Bill and Thor were all just throwing the hammer around and having a silly goose time killing this one god. and we jump into this, and again, there were aspects of this issue that I really enjoyed, like Loki. I think Loki was he was incredibly strong in this issue, because of his just being Loki, right? And him guiding his brother and letting him know, like, hey, I'm gonna stab you in the back. It's gonna happen. But I'm also telling you the story. And like I did like that one panel where it showed like the different iterations of Loki. I thought that was very cool. But then when we got into like the retelling of, or retconning, or even retelling of the story,
there we go,
of the classic Thor story, I'm like, wait, I thought we were over here, and like I know that Loki's telling a story, but like I guess it just felt, it didn't, in my opinion, Ewing didn't do a good enough job of explaining what was going on, in my opinion. Like when I read it, I didn't feel like I didn't feel like Ewing, I guess he just didn't hold my hand enough to tell me, oh, transition, this is what we're doing, right? And then as you progress into the issue, you're like, okay, wait, now I'm established here, whoop, I'm back over here, right? And then when we got to the final part of the issue, which is the bull guy with Enchantress going like, you want to fuck some shit up, like this, in the way I look at it, especially with the announcement of what's coming with this book, this to me is the intellectual, almost snooty side of meta. Like that's how it feels to me.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just being honest with you, Nate.
I know.
Like I read that article. I read that article about what's coming, and how we're like, this Marvel comic got bought out by this mega corporation, and then you're like, and you read it like, oh shit, and then you read the article and it's like, no, this is what's happening in the comics, and you're like, oh, like it just feels like my brain's gonna explode because I just feels like I can't follow it, and I'm not. Let me just preface this now. I'm not saying it's as bad. I'm not saying this is bad. I'm trying not to say that. I know it's coming across as I'm saying it's bad, but it just, I'm not in college anymore. I'm not in school anymore. I don't want to do homework. And the only time I want to do homework, if I'm being absolutely honest, the only time I ever want to do homework when I'm reading a comic is when I read that and go, that was fucking awesome. I'm going to go figure out why that's fucking awesome. And like, to me,
that's exactly what I'm doing.
Well, and here's where I'm differentiating our situation here. For you read this and go, fuck, I want to learn more because this is what excited you. Like it excited you. And for me, it just didn't. So it didn't set off that that eagerness to get on my phone or get onto my computer and look up what the fuck's going on. It was more like, God damn it, I feel like I'm in one of my junior or senior level courses in college, and I really don't want to write this paper. Like, I just don't want to do the assignment. I'd rather just go fucking play pickleball or some shit like that. Like, I don't want to do it. Sorry.
That, I'm going to go ahead and just say that petrifies me. Because if too many people think that this book's just going to get canceled again, and like, Al Ewing might as well quit writing comics.
I don't think it's gonna get canceled.
Write comics the way he wants to.
I don't think it's gonna get canceled.
Because right, and I hope you're right. But the biggest issue is that people can't. You can. I'm not saying you. People can't realize anymore that you not liking it doesn't mean that you should also like want it to fail. But I'm worried that like people are gonna get to this and be like, this is intellectual hoity-toity, and I'm gonna bullshit it, and I'm gonna talk about how awful it is until it fucking gets canceled. And like, just because you guys aren't in that headspace that it requires, that's cool. Like, I'm not in certain headspaces for other books either, and some books aren't worth the effort. But man, this is worth the effort. By
no means am I saying that. Like, I am one of the biggest Al Ewing fans. Shit, one of his books on the show is my pick of the week. Like, the dude, I want more Al Ewing books. I want Al Ewing to get a shot at doing a massive, not co-writing with another writer, massive Marvel event. I think the dude is like, his fucking Guardians run was amazing. I loved it. And, it took me a minute, but I loved it. And, Sword and X-Men Red, yes, were there a couple issues that were kind of misses? Yes, but overall, I loved that book. I loved those books. And I think Thor is in that same arena. I just think this issue for me personally, and it is a victim of being right after gods, right? You read one book where you're like, what? And then you get into another, and you're like, wait, what? Like it didn't help. It just didn't help it. But when we talked it through and you were like, no, bro, I was like, okay, I get it. That's cool. Can't wait to see that happen. Sword was wasted. 100% it was last. 100%. Like a lot of X-Men comics were wasted.
So, do you have anything else about Thor specifically?
No. I like Loki. Okay. I thought Loki was cool in this issue.
I love this issue. I love the mythology. I love how much a strong hold that Ewing is showing that he has over actual dense Norse mythology. Like the stuff that he is grabbing this from is like not hardcore studied and doesn't have like just a plethora of attainable layman's knowledge about it. Like I remember studying some of this in college, and like I was in a specified historian like history class, and like I remember reading some of these books that he's pulling this stuff from, and I'm just like, man, this shit's dense even with translations. So I think it's really cool that he's going through and using super deep Norse mythos, and you see it with Loki. I mean, Loki's literally like, hey man, like this is who I am. He's even like, I kind of don't like it, but you know, like I'm your enemy forever. You know that I'm always the trickster. Right. I'm your brother and I love you, but this is just who I am and I can't change it. And I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. No, and again, that's what I think. I'm sorry. I think that's what shined in the issue for me personally was Loki's just unapologetic honesty, and he's been that since the beginning of this run, and I just like that that's continuing.
Yeah. So. It makes me want to go back and read his Journey in the Mystery. I haven't read that yet.
There's a lot of Loki that I want to read, like ton. I think Stefan asked, did you read the OG issue?
Yeah, so yeah, I did. I'm super excited for the fight that's on the cover of the next one. Yeah,
cat fight. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, Loki and Thor are going to go through some trials, and there's going to be a cat fight. And I mean a literal cat.
Yeah,
not like a house cat, but like a cat. We're so far behind on comments, but I want to touch like super briefly a couple of them. Like Joe, I'm going to make you feel even more bad about falling off of Ram V's Detective Comics for sure. Calvin, I haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything about something happening to Ewing?
No.
On Twitter? I haven't heard that either.
I mean, I've been so caught up with football this afternoon. I haven't really been.
Yes, football, of course.
So good.
Joe, I saw Donnie post a little while ago, but he was just like insanely vague. I didn't see anything concrete that he's actually.
Wait, Donnie said something?
Like he got on Twitter like a week ago and was like, just like showing support for like some Stegman stuff, I think.
I'm ready for him to write the next Avengers book. Or no, what did we say we wanted him to write?
I don't even remember now.
There was something that we were both like, that's it.
Yeah.
Something's ending that we were both like.
Oh, you're right. I'm probably overreacting.
Wait, what happened to Hugman is the fisherman? Yeah, dude, all that's... Dude, where have you been?
I don't understand. Right? Well...
Yes.
Yeah.
He died.
Okay.
All right.
Tell me about this, why I'm so crazy that I didn't really get it. Okay.
Where's the button?
So I'm gonna go first because I just have very small, and I want to hear your rant. Or not your...
My rant?
Please, give me a beautiful soliloquy of this.
Wait, so you're gonna go first?
Yes.
Okay, go.
Storm's the most badass character that Marvel's ever created now, right?
100.
Like officially, like now that's where we're at. Like like top notch. Like
I mean, I think we both.
No one can touch her.
Right.
Yeah, but this just kind of solidified that. So, I mean, I didn't get this book in the right mind frame, so like I'm not gonna be able to contribute a lot. But, I loved the character moments with Aurora. Like it just like it shows that Ewing knows this character so well, knows her past, but also is like barely shaping the edges to what he thinks the character is, and is doing the best possible thing for her as a character. Who did the art in this, by the way? I forgot to go look, but like the art in this book.
Vecchio?
Is it Wernick?
No, Vecchio.
Oh no.
I don't think I'm saying that name right.
I'm not even seeing it. It's like a blank space here. Oh, Luciano Vecchino. Vecchio. I don't know, but I really liked the art. I thought it was really great. And like, I don't know. Never mind.
The reason why you couldn't get into the book, the reason why you were completely lost, is because this is basically a continuation of X-Men Red / all that shit. And
yeah, and I haven't
read it.
So.
And so
it's like issue 4.
Right. And so there's just a lot going on. Right. So Storm wakes up. She has a nightmare about Magneto and seeing him basically in hell. And so she feels called to resurrect him. So she goes and passes through a dimensional plane where basically the Domain live, where Ewing's defenders are, right? So now we're connecting. Ewing is doing what Ewing does.
That was so cool.
Right? So cool. Like, again, this is a payoff for people who have been reading Ewing's books. And so we jump over to where the defenders are. We've got Galactus's mother and Blue Marvel just chilling out, like, you know, defending the past the existence of, you know, just out of, like, not I don't know how to say it. They're out there. Right? And she's able to get to them because Blue Marvel gave Storm some kind of, you know, transporter to get to them. And she's basically saying, yo, I need your help to go resurrect Magneto. I need to go where, you know, basically mutant souls go when they die. And he's like, all right, bet. Right? Rather than going, you're crazy. And so she does it. And she lands there. And I forget the name, but there's this mutant that was on Araco, Tarn or some shit like that.
Tarn.
Yeah, Tarn. Who is just an asshole, right? And he's kind of, you know, he's been dead, but he's looking to ascend to a higher plane of existence, just like the Domain. And, you know, he tries to put Storm in her place, and he turns into this nasty looking fucking monster, which I thought was really badass, and basically proclaims himself as the existence and or the definition of mutation.
Yeah.
Okay, again, you know, I'm talking about Ewing as if, like, you know, I just talked about another book where I'm like, fucking lost. And now I'm reading this and going like, payoff. And I loved it. And so, again, how he writes Aurora, awesome. How she was illustrated in this book and how badass of a person she is, awesome. And seeing her being in this plane, whether it was a metaphor or not, and last you said it, like, her basically destroying a domain took you out of the book. Well, I just don't, again, the way I looked at it, we were in this plane of existence where it's just concepts, and she's shattering them. Because her drive and her sole purpose within this book is to get to Magneto. Because Magneto currently in her mind, and I think she's right, is the most pure existence, and it's the most crazy thing to say right now, but because of how twisted Krakoa is right now, is the most pure intentioned of mutant ideas within the X office right now. And they need him desperately because Xavier has lost the narrative. He's willing to wipe out the entire existence of Krakoa because he feels that lost. And Magneto is the one that I guess is going to be the, you know, the North Star, if you will, to get everything back to normal. I just feel like that's what we're doing. And what better writer to do it than Al Ewing? And he's done, you know, we were talking before the show, Nate, you were like, I don't understand the Domain, you know, and I said, well, you know, obviously Karen Gillan, to an extent Gary Jerry, and other people within the X office have done their interpretations and done what they've done with the Domain or Dominion or whatever the fuck it's called, Domain. What? Xavier needs his husband. 100%. And so what I feel like Ewing is doing is saying, all right, this is what they did, but here's here is what the original blueprint was for the Dominion. And you know, for me, I guess it's because it's so ingrained, and because I loved what the roadmap was with Hickman and what he decided, you know, what he was doing, what he was building with these concepts. When I saw what was being shown to us through Ewing's eyes of his interpretation of the domain and Hickman, I was just like, this is fucking awesome. This feels like Hoxpox. This feels like we're going back to the source material. And this is exactly what you were saying with Thor. You know, you had all this excitement for something that you had passion about. And for me, it's like Ewing is sticking back to the script of like, hey, remember this shit? Remember what we talked about back in class, you know, back over here when Hickman was in charge? I'm paying you off here. But he still did, you know, he paid his respects to Karen Gillan and said, all right, and then here's your little sinister domain thing that exists out of time, and I'm sure we're going to get rid of it pretty quickly because it doesn't make any sense. Bye. You know, I think that's going to happen. But for me, I just liked this journey of of Storm, who was the biggest champion for Magneto, going and saying, I'm going to get my boy back. Like, he's coming back. And we were both wondering, how are we going to do this? Is it going to be something simple, or is it going to be something complex and deep? And yeah, we're going River Styx. We're going to the 7 gates of hell. Like, it is incredibly apparent, especially with the last fucking page of the book where Magneto is walking on lava and his eyes are gouged out, bleeding from his sockets, crawling to who knows where. Like, Marvel has decided to go full bore, like, parental advisory label, and I feel like it's starting with this issue. We got the announcement about Avengers going full bore, bloody, you know, vampire run. We're going to get 2 different versions of the book. And am I going to get those 2 versions? Fuck yeah, I am. And I hate vampires in my comic books. But when I saw that article and I sent it to you, I'm like, holy shit, man, it's about to get metal as fuck. And this issue, to me, even if there are inconsistencies within the lore or the labyrinth of lore within Hoxpox, so be it. We've been like that for the past 2.5 years. Yeah. That all got thrown out after Inferno. It's just like, hey, we're going in this direction. And if there was one direction outside of Gary Jerry and his little main narrative, what he's doing, and I love what he's doing, if there was another narrative that I want to follow, it's going to be Al Ewing's. Because what he did in this issue impressed me so much, because I was like, God damn it. the base level X-Men Red Sword is done. And then we get this book and it's like, okay, this is just a continuation. And he checked the box for, hey, remember what I did over here? Did you read my Defenders run? Here it is. Hey, remember X-Men Red? Did you read that? Okay, I'm going to give you some payoff. Yeah, did it get fucking weird? Yes. Did I create another Living Island? 100%. But I'm going to give you the one thing that everyone has been just going crazy about. And that's my interpretation. Not my interpretation. The sole badass version of Storm. Yeah. And then everyone has been waiting. When's Magneto coming back? Okay, you want to know how Magneto's coming back? We're going to hell. Okay, that sounds dope. Let's go. I'm on. Let's get on that bike and go, bro. So,
but not like boring old Mephisto hell either.
No, we're gonna get some Dante's Inferno in this bitch. You know it. You know, when we open issue 2, there's gonna be a goddamn quote from Dante's Inferno talking about the 7 rings of hell. I guarantee it. It's gonna happen. And I guess the historian in me is going like, that's fucking cool. That's just dope.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I liked it. And there were things that were a callback to many different successes and disappointments within Hoxpox that I liked. And I think there were some that were like, hey, remember that? That was silly. And then there's like, hey, remember that? That was really fucking cool. So here's a payoff. And I think when it comes to other books in the X-Men line right now that are trying to pay off storylines that we got in the first year of Hoxpox, there are different ways of doing it. You've got Al Ewing, who is subtle, and I wouldn't say discreet, but it's just a little subtle and maybe a little bit outlandish at times. And then there are other ones like X-Force, which we're going to get into, where it's like, hey, remember that? That was cool. That's how it feels in those books. So if I had to pick, it'd be Ewing's, his interpretation of how to recall that information.
Yep.
So that's me.
There it is.
So let's see. Last says his domain idea stretches all the way back to when the automation evolved into a map makers, because AI always does that. Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it felt like Ewing was like, don't forget this shit, because that was what made this book. That's what made this run so fun. And so to me, I love that. And then he did throw in, Karen Gillan's domain sinister thing. Like he did it, and it's because that's part of it, whether we like it or not.
It's true.
I did see the Wolverine. I did flip through the Wolverine Sabretooth War book. Like I just looked at it and I saw the end and I was like, oh shit, that's again.
Yeah, I've been curious to look at that.
Let's just Marvel has decided to rip the Band-Aid off of censored shit because it is brutal.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I was fine with that.
Good.
Yeah, and Les, you're right. This Crown Enigma concept feels ultra rushed and making Sinister yet again the main villain over the machines is bad, or a silly writing even after Sins of Sinner wasn't that good. I agree with you. Like it's but Ewing I think did his best to take all of the concepts of this Enigma domain concept and say, okay, here's the whole picture. So I'll give him that. I will give Ewing that. Lately, Ewing and Gillen have felt almost too smart for me. I would agree with you there too.
I can feel that for sure.
I mean, we just talked about that with Thor. So anyway, this is my pick of the week. So
That's Jim's pick of the week.
all right, let's move on.
Do it.
Dumb. Okay, let's get over to Detective Comics. Okay, it's not, again, we know why I'm picking this book up. To get to 50, this is the base level of silly goose time, like almost annoying silly goose time. What are we doing? We're trying to get to 50. This doesn't even feel, it doesn't feel at all connected to what's going on. They're out in Antarctica by themselves and Beast is trying to kill them, right? And then they resurrect a Beast clone that they found in a laboratory while they were off on one of their escapades, and now they're trying to convince it to go hunt Beast. There you go. That's the issue. It didn't move the scale for me. I don't know why I'm still reading this book. I'm just getting it to 50. That's literally it. Dumb. Yeah, exactly. Dumb. Like God, we sound so negative. Let's talk about something that you liked. Let's talk about Detective Comics.
Oh, God. Who was it, Joe? Quit. You guys like quitters never win. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that now. Quitters never win. And when you quit on this book, you lost. And when you quit on this book, there are just gems, like the most beautiful gems that you're not. Well, there's Beauty of Comics, so you got a second chance. You can go out and get these issues and make up for it, or get the beautiful collected edition, because I love collected editions more. But
I like hardcover versions.
I prefer hardcover. So this is a story being told in two parts, right? So we've got Batman, who is on this more metaphorical journey than literal journey. I mean, you can interpret what's happening as literal. I think this is all happening in his mind. But we've got Talia taking him essentially to this mythical desert that we've been reading about in his whole issue, about what has happened with the I can't think of the family that's come and has taken over this. This is what their history is. The guy's dad got sent on this journey out to go find his forgotten realm. Huh?
Last got to go, but he said we needed to do a call-in show.
And yeah, you realize that he's taking the same journey that we've been having these stories about all throughout this run from Rum, and it's very mystical and very dark and very negative energy. And of course, what did they do? They picked up the absolute fucking king of this style and got Federici to do the interiors on these stories. on the Batman side of the story, and it's just atmosphere wise, it is absolute perfection. Like you can't like this is better than Daredevil. David, what? Oh my God, what is his name? Transformers. Daniel Warren Johnson. Thank you. This is better than Daniel Warren Johnson on Transformers. This is better than. No, it absolutely is. It totally is. This is better than a lot of my absolute favorites. But it's just good. The atmosphere is I already said that a million times. Atmosphere is great, but also like the internal mythos that we've done a thousand times, right? Like, who is it? Is Batman the identity, or is Bruce Wayne the identity? Is the big question that has been asked in Batman comics for too long. Except this take on it is amazing because we're not even having that question anymore. We straight up get in this issue, like he says, the guy's like, you need to know who you really are above everything else stripped away. Who are you? And Batman literally says, that's not a problem for me. I know who I am. I'm the Batman.
I'm the Batman.
This is his. I mean, it's really like his chance to like claim his identity as Bruce. Say, no, I know I'm Bruce. No. He says, bar none, I am the Batman. And then we see the imagery that is presented to him as the internal beast. And you've got two beasts that are fighting him right now. You've got the Osmer wolf that we've seen over and over again. That he's still trying to like purge that from his system.
Right.
But then you have the man bat. I can't remember the name that they give him. Some like old demon name, like Beelzebub or something like that. And that is that's the thing that's kept him alive so far, and that's the thing is the representation of his drive. It's all very meta. It's all very
it's a meta
big picture stuff. Like it's not small storytelling. Al Ewing, Kieran Gillen's level stuff, but it's done exceptionally well. Now, the other part of this, and I think my notes got deleted on this, and I'm so fucking frustrated with that.
Sorry.
So the other part of this story is if the individual is Batman, and that is who he is, how much is belief in the Batman that determines his very existence? I mean, he's almost taking a page out of Tinian and saying, does the Batman only exist because people believe in him? And if people stop believing in him, will the Batman be gone forever? And because then we get the other side of the story, which is a totally different artist, and it's following Question or Montoya, the police chief. And it is her trying to make sure that the city remembers Batman, except she's forgetting to. And so we're looking at a Gotham that's literally already like people have already forgotten about the skylight. People have already forgotten, like certain criminals are like, wait, why am I scared of this dark alley? It's just an alley, like whatever. And he walks down it and it's like no big deal. And I don't know. I think it's an incredibly interesting take on a trope, a really common Batman trope that's been done a million times. But I think it's a really interesting take. And anytime you put Federici on a dark, brooding, slightly horrific story, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
The first time Federici's been on the Ram run?
Yes.
That's why you cringe.
Yes. He technically did the issues for Night Terrors, but those also weren't written by Ram. So yes.
Night Terrors.
I know. I literally picked those up because he did the art. That's the only reason why.
What up, Disciple? Here for DC. What's up, y'all? Yeah, you did miss my one-word review of X-Force. It was great. It was great.
Hold on. Joe said, I hear a lot about Detective Comics being amazing with its theme, tone, art, and backups, but the actual story I rarely hear the praise. Yeah, I mean, Joe, I would say that this is it's because those are the things that are good. The story's not like super dense, and it's not like super unique. And that's not really the point, I don't think. I think a lot of the, like I can tell you the act's summed up pretty interesting or easily. I mean, Act 1 is new family that used to own Gotham shows up and takes over control. Act 2 is we're gonna beat the shit out of Batman, take over Gotham, and hang him. The intermediate act is they hang him, and he almost dies. It pretty much does die. Actually, I'm pretty sure he's dead right now. And then Act 3, which we just started, is him either coming back to life or being healed, or I don't know, maybe disappearing forever. I mean, that obviously not that one, but it's not super in depth. It's just all the extra. It's the tone, and it's the metaphor, and it's the individual world building.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Bye, Calvin. What up, dude? What up, Holden? How you doing?
Oh, Power
All
Girl.
right.
Nice.
Next up,
Streaky the Cat. I'm not familiar with that game.
let's talk about Green Arrow issue number 6 or 8. This is another one that you missed. 7, we were both like, huh? Right? We were both very, huh?
Yeah.
Well, 8 brought the heat. So you got this villain named, fuck, I forget the name of the villain. It's something stupid.
Something stupid.
It is. It's really dumb.
Is it Automatopoeia?
Yeah, Automatopoeia. And so he says he says the thing that's about to happen, right? So like shoots his gun, and before he shoots his gun, he's like, bang. Like when something's about to, like something hits a boat, he goes, boom. Hits the boat, whatever. So
that sounds hilarious.
It was, yeah. So we are given a red herring that Arrow dies. That he gets when this dude shows up in the last issue, he bang 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 hits him in the chest, and he did. Like he got holes in his chest. Well, it's a big ploy to find out what Amanda Waller is up to. And I remember when we were talking about this, where I was like, who gives a shit about Amanda Waller? I don't care. I don't care that she's this big bad that's being set up to be ruining the whole DCU or DC comic book universe. And this book has finally put her into some relevancy. Waller has hired villains to take out superheroes for compensation to not put trackers and head bombs in them. So you go kill the superheroes, you're free. And I don't track you. I don't do any of that shit. And so this dude was hired by another villain to go kill Green Arrow. And it Green Arrow uses it as a ploy to find out what this whole thing is with Waller. He ends up faking his own death, pretending to be Onomatopoeia, goes and finds this other villain and gets him to spill the beans. And then that's, the big reveal outside of that is, remember when Speedy looked like he got killed?
Mm-hmm.
He is working for Waller.
Oh, Lord.
But we don't know. There is no specifics as to, was he dead and now he's like this undead version of Speedy, or is he just Speedy? Like, going after superheroes. So he is currently Team Waller. And I'm going to be honest, I know it sounds gimmicky, but this issue got me excited for Green Arrow again, because issue 7 was such a drop off for both of us. We were like, what? Whoa, come on. We've been praising it like crazy. And then it wasn't good. And then we got this issue and I was like, full on, let's go. I'm even interested in Waller. But even though in the next issue, we're getting fucking the Beast World shit. Like, so damn it. Like, we're gonna have to deal with that. But this to me got me actually excited to what's going on with this whole situation with Waller, because like they've been building it up, but I haven't given any, and now I am because of what they did in this issue. So there's that. Nice. I thought it was good, and I implore you to read it, Nate, so that you can get.
Oh, I definitely will. I have it. I need it.
So there we go. Oh, so let me give you an update.
Joe, okay.
Well, Joe says, first off, congratulations, Jim. Second, lastly, we didn't have a show. Could we all do a brief moment to get your thoughts on Avengers Twilight and Cobra Commander? Give you an update on why we didn't have a show. Yes, so my wife, we are expecting our third child. And this past week has been a roller coaster of ups and downs of will we, won't we?
Mm-hmm.
So Sunday night, she was like having mild contractions, and I was like, you know what, we're not gonna have the show because I don't want to be in the middle of a show, and then my wife like calls me and is like, yo, we gotta go, and then I just gotta turn everything off. You know, we didn't end up having the baby. Fast forward 2 nights, and she was having incredibly hardcore contractions. We ended up going to the birthing center where we were going to have the baby. They were getting everything ready, like getting the bath ready, doing the whole thing. And then they checked her and they were like, you ain't dilated at all, girl. So we've had multiple false alarms on this third baby. So that little dude is still in there and he ain't coming out yet. He is not ready to leave. So that being said, thanks for everyone for the concern and thanks for everyone for the congratulations. He's coming at some point within this week, if not the next week. Like, her due date is a week from tomorrow. So
okay.
There may be a chance that we may not have another live show this coming Sunday. Maybe, maybe not. I will say when he does come, like, it won't be like we're in the hospital for long. We're doing this whole natural birth thing that will get us out of there as long as there's no complications within 4 hours after 4 hours after he's born. So we gonna have a show after he's born. If he's born, you know, unless he's born like right now, like during the show, we should have a show. But I will keep you guys up to date on that fact. So, but thank you again for everything. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to meet him. He's gonna be a cool little dude when he shows up, and I'm sure my boys are gonna be super excited to meet him as well. As for that week, so Cobra Commander was my pick of the week.
Oh, hold on.
What?
Let's do that after this.
After what?
After this week's show, let's talk about last week.
But it's the halftime question. Isn't this a halftime question? Okay, fine. Talk about Zwa.
Zawa.
Zawa.
This book is great. So like, I'm not gonna say too much on it because it's the same. Like, it's one of the most gorgeous books I'm picking up. Like, the art is just so fun and enthralling. We get a lot more like mission statement from this book though. Like, so far it's been like, hey, we get a little pieces of world building and stuff, not pieces. And here we finally see like the crux of everything. We see how, you know, the evil mayor is using the mountain to justify. I mean, literally all this is a metaphor for how evil. Oh God, what's our economy called? Capitalism. Yes, it's literally just a massive metaphor, and I'm totally here for it. It's basically like a story of the poor people that are all banding together to try to survive. It's a wonderful story of found family. It's not a kid's book. It's not horrific, and it's not vulgar, and it's not I don't know, any of those types of things, but like there are concepts here that like children are just not going to get. I almost wonder if this is like, hey, feed like 12-year-olds this story.
Oh no, subliminal messaging.
By the time they're 20, they'll be ready for the revolution kind of thing. Which again, totally down for that. But at the same time, it's a really fun and heartwarming story, even if you remove the subtext of it all. In this issue, we get a lot of vomit. Zawa is, for some reason, being able to uncontrol her eating, like, which has been the same the whole time, but now she's vomiting, except when she vomits, like, wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous fruit trees sprout from the ground, and she's providing sustenance and nature and color to like this dreary sort of like industrial city with just gray everywhere. And now she's like literally puking life back into the world. And so it's the metaphor of it all is great. It's really fun. It's really good. If you like, I don't know if anyone here is going to get this, but like there's this wave of in books right now called like cottagecore or like cozy fantasy, like where the stakes aren't too high, where you're just feeling like super nervous or sad or anxious. There are obviously stakes, but you don't feel bad. You just feel good when you read it. That's exactly what this is here. Like, it's always going to be a good time. It's never going to be like high strung.
Gotcha.
I love it. I always talk well about it, but like every single issue is 4.5 stars. Like, it's almost perfect. I don't think do a good job of explaining how much I love this book, but it's good.
All right.
But this book is just because this one's got the guts, and it's got the blood, and it's got the biting, and it's got all that good stuff. I'm not going to tell you the plot. You've read Dracula or seen Dracula.
Blah, yeah.
Like, this is the issue where like Tinian really just said, "Hey, I'm gonna like Simmons. This is your book. Like, it's been your book the whole time. You know, we're 3 issues in. I didn't realize. I thought I was the writer. I'm actually just a peon
Here for the ride. Yeah.
Just do it." And this is like no joke. These 4 issues right here. This is Simmons' magnum opus. Like, I don't know that he'll ever do anything better than this.
Jesus, wow.
It's just it's amazing. It's, you know, I don't know. This is just a title page. Like, this is just a title page.
That's pretty cool.
You know, and the way this is left open ended, like to Van Helsing tries to murder Dracula, but does he really? You obviously get what is his name, Renfro or whatever. You know, he meets his demise, of course, and we don't know the fate of the Doctor's daughter, but she's probably the bride of Dracula. Probably what's gonna happen. But anyway, I don't know. There's not a lot to say about this. It is my pick of the week, and it is perfect. It's the best retelling of a universal monster that I've ever seen, and they waited until this issue came out, but we have confirmation to continue other universal monsters. The next one is going to be Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Ooh.
Being double written by Dan Waters, who did all that Asriel stuff you enjoy, and Ram V. So not a shabby creative team on the next one either. So
wait, so the artist is the one that did the Azrael stuff that I liked?
No, the writer. It's a being double written. I don't know. The colorist is very familiar. Dave Stewart, I believe, does great stuff. I don't know that I recognized the artist's name. Well, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, Universal Monsters, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Matthew Roberts is the artist. Not a lot of credits to his name. He did 48 issues of Manifest Destiny Image Comics, but not super familiar with his art.
Got it.
Anyway, now let's talk about last week. Should we?
All right. Well, yeah. So last week we had. So you were asking about Avengers Twilight, and Cobra Commander. Cobra Commander was my pick of the week, which was incredibly I think we both were very excited and kind of on edge when that book came out, because we were just like, why would we pick up a Cobra Commander book? And the reason why it was my pick of the week was I loved the artwork. I thought the artwork was fantastic in it. I thought the writing was incredibly strong, and it was just kind of the cherry on top to this whole Energon verse that Robert Kirkman and the rest of the team is doing with G.I. Joe and Transformers and Void Rivals. I just think we're having a lot of fun building this, known world, but still doing something new. And again, never in a million years would I thought that I would pick up a Cobra Commander book or even a G.I. Joe. Like, I liked G.I. Joes when I was a kid, but I never watched the cartoon. I was always about the toys. Like, I wasn't, maybe I watched the cartoon here and there, but I was not as involved as I was with Transformers. And to see, just the connectivity with it, to see Megatron in it and him being basically a slave to Cobra Commander, that's just hand in hand awesome. We had that's a connectivity to the Transformer book when we saw Optimus with Megatron's arm with a cannon on his arm. Like, you're just like, okay, here are all these parts, and we're just kind of seeing them slowly start to come together, right? And that's really cool. So for me on that week, it hit for me. I was like, this is wild. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's got me excited. And I don't know. It felt good. It made me really excited for the concept. And I think that's saying something for something that I really don't give two shits about. That's that's brutally honest. I have nothing. It's not that I have a problem with Cobra Commander or G.I. Joe. I'm just not as big of a fanboy as Transformers, right? So that's surprising to me, and that's why it was my pick of the week.
Yeah, I wasn't that big on it. I enjoyed it, and I'm definitely going to keep reading it. I was really bummed that it wasn't a horror book when Williamson like felt like he put a lot of effort into his own personal like social media of like, oh, this is a horror book, like totally.
Right.
And at least the first issue was like, I don't think I'm being dramatic when I would say nobody would call that a horror. Um, so that was a little bit disappointing for me. However, my favorite part of it is like that we're getting to see like the bad guy side of the story, like in an actual book through the bad guy. Like we don't really do that kind of stuff. So I liked it.
Yeah, and then as for Avengers Twilight, I think we both enjoyed it, but it didn't feel. I liked it a lot. I'm going to continue to read it. It's Chip Zdarsky. I thought the artwork was fantastic. There were moments of Donnie in it, like the reveal of Tony Stark being on the prison island, in a tube. Like that's fucking cool. Like that's really cool. But it didn't, outside of little hints here and there, and I think you were gonna probably say the same thing. It didn't feel like we were doing really a lot of new things. There felt like there were a lot of concepts that we've kind of seen before, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I enjoyed the book. I am no longer on a week-to-week basis with Avengers Twilight after issue 1. I was holding it to that standard when it first came out. I was almost not going to pick up the book. But then when I got to the shop, I was like, nah, I'm going to get it. And then I think it was Joe, was like, you're not picking it up? And I did. And I'm glad I did, because it feels like a very silly goose time and also doing something really fun. And Joe, I agree. Yeah, how James Stark was written, I agree. Like I think
people are freaking the fuck out about that, about how horrible of a character he is. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I didn't have a problem with it. There was nothing in this book that I read. I was like, this is stupid. Like this is so stupid that I got to get on Twitter and bitch about it. Do I do that? I don't normally do that ever. No. And the fact that there is like this controversy, guys, it's an Elseworld story. It's an Elseworld story. Who better to write an Elseworld story than Chip Zdarsky? You know what I mean? Like, I loved his what if Spider-Man Venom thing, like where he kept the suit. I fucking love that. You know what I mean? Like, I do not have a problem with this at all. I liked it.
I'm the same way as we were before. Like, this was just it was okay. It was fine. This is literally just Kingdom Come, but make mine Marvel. Like it's the same thing. Yeah. It's the same thing. And like in a way, like I'm interested in that, but like if I'm being honest, if it wasn't Chip, I wouldn't continue.
I could see that.
And part of it is a internal bias, like Captain America in general, not my cup of tea. Old grumpy, like borderline shitty old man Cap is like even worse. Like
because you hate Cap.
Well, I do, and this is like a more annoying version of him. So I don't know why I would want that. But it's Chip, so like I'm gonna read the whole thing. So we'll see. I gave it like 3.5 out of 5. So it's not like.
And Joe, you're right. Like Steve's wife is definitely an agent. Like she's keeping tabs on him. Like she's got, she's putting he's drugging the coffee. Like
okay, I do want to just like literally fly by. Like we both loved World's Finest, right? That was great.
Oh my god, it was amazing.
Daredevil, was that Daredevil your pick of the week?
Yeah, I had two because I picked because it had two. That's right.
I thought it was like really, like the mukbang of it all was really disgusting to me. Totally fits, totally made sense why it should have been there. Don't take points away from it, but like if you haven't read that, like just reading like the images of Matt and Jen like shoveling food face, like repulsive. I finished Infill Gang Massacre, and I have no idea any of that was about, or any, like I just have no idea. Like I don't see any moral to the story. I don't see any purpose of telling the story. It was very weird. You hated Nightwing, and I loved it. I hated Superman, and you loved it. So that was kind of weird.
Yep.
And then the final thing, I guess, unless you want to say something, is The Deviant was my pick of the week, and it was literal perfection. We didn't even see our main character. Like we didn't even see him on panel. was perfect. We got a full like characterization story of his boyfriend, and of course, a flashback to the apparent Santa Claus killer, but claims he's not. It was kind of heartbreaking because you almost like read it, you're like, bro, what has Tinian been through? My God, like, where is it? Like, how do you have this in your heart? Like, let it out, man. Even though it doesn't seem like he's still in that kind of place now, he must have been in a pretty damn dark place eventually. But I think this is 3 for 3 now for pick of the week on this run. So
I forgot about X-Men and Iron Man.
no, I didn't forget. I just
X-Men was pretty insane. Basically, they go to the High Evolutionary to retrieve something, and when it ends, you think they're victorious, which they kind of are, but only because they're at the mercy of the High Evolutionary. He kills Talon, and Sync. The only way Sync can save her is by transferring her personality, her persona and mind into his own. Mm-hmm. So he's literally Talon is inside of him, and it's like, oh shit, like, and they don't have resurrection protocol at the moment, so he's got his love of his life in his brain. Pretty epic.
Yeah, that is pretty cool actually.
Iron Man was cool, but the whole point of the 10 rings with Riri was absolutely pointless. She ends up throwing him into space because the space dragon tells her to. That felt like take that part out of the story. It was a really cool story. We're ramping up to Iron Man to blow the doors off of this whole Orcus thing, but the Riri Williams with the power rings, it just feels completely pointless. She literally a space dragon literally told her, you don't know what the fuck you're doing with those, get rid of them. And Forge is like, you should probably do it. And she's like, okay, fling, and she flings the rings into space.
Yep.
Total waste of time. So there's that.
Thanks.
But yeah, and Nightwing was trash, and Superman was awesome.
Nightwing wasn't trash. It was really, really good. Really
trash.
Good.
It was trash.
Wonder Woman was kind of shitty. Actually, Wonder Woman was really shitty. What am I talking about?
Yeah,
I'm already getting tired of that book.
Yeah, you absolutely hate it.
No, right. I like Wonder Woman. I just would like for her to.
You heard it here, folks. He hates women.
I would love to know what her thoughts are, or what she's doing. Book. Instead of got to listen to some crotchety old man talk about how hard he is for being president or king of the United States. Wow, that's.
I did not pick up Crashdown. I don't know if Nate has or not.
Crashdown. What is that, y'all?
Is
this something that I said about and that I missed?
Something that I said I did not do.
It's a what not book.
What?
So that's probably why I missed it. What?
All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it.
We should pick it up. Let us know.
Okay, yeah. Let us know in the chat. All right, guys. That's gonna do it for issue 161 or episode 161. What? Are you going to poop? What's going on? Bye. But that's gonna do it for this issue. We'll catch you guys this Tuesday, where we'll be talking about our pulls for next week. Which there's some cool stuff on there. I'm not gonna lie. So make sure to catch us. Make sure to catch us Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for New Comic Book Day. It's gonna be great, and then we'll catch you guys live again this Sunday, hopefully, unless the boy shows up. We will be here at 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time to talk about all those books and more. As always, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. It'd be much appreciated because we are trying to get to our next milestone, which is 1,250 subscribers. Let's go. Hit that like button. And yeah, we'll see you guys, hopefully, fingers crossed, next Sunday. Because, yeah, I love this shit. It's amazing. I love talking to y'all. It's so much fun. Catch you guys later. Oh, wait. Be kind to one another. And read more comics. Later. Hit that button. Good luck, Jim. I will be. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna sit there and tell her to push. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean,
there's nothing for me to do. Like, I'm gonna be eating snacks, drinking energy drinks. It's gonna be great.